we have a big problem. How do we break free from the habit of alcohol? Alcohol is literally around us everywhere we go. Society pushes it, it's around sports, it's around all events, birthdays, holidays, funerals, weddings, you name it, it's there, it's in your face. It is our responsibility to break these bad habits and find ways to beat the urges. I know that it can be so hard to stop the urges, to break that bad habit. It literally takes so much willpower. It is doable. You can do it. Just do it! Turning to alcohol is not going to solve your problems. That is the number one thing that I have learned, especially in this last year. Traumatic experiences you cannot cover up with alcohol. Deep-rooted depression and trauma from years ago, you're not ever going to overcome those issues by hiding them with alcohol. Pause the video and I want to hear your comments that have gotten you out of being bored and what you have found yourself doing to take your mind off craving alcohol or having the urge to grab that drink. I want to give you 5 things that I personally did to break free from my bad habit of drinking too much alcohol. Number 1, awareness. I woke up on July 10th realizing that I have become so disengaged with my family. I was just constantly drinking. The evenings revolved around drinking. The weekends revolved around drinking. Just waking up feeling crappy, not wanting to be engaged with my family. That awareness of not being there. I was physically there, I just was not mentally there. I started being aware that everything that I did literally revolved around alcohol. Going to Topgolf, couldn't wait to get my hands on a drink. You know, sitting in the pool during summertime, couldn't wait to get my hands on a drink. Being aware that I wasn't there for my children. What if something would have happened to my kids? Thankfully, my husband is always there. He ended up having to start putting the kids to bed every night. And it just started really wearing on me. And I didn't realize how bad it was, just being so disconnected and so unaware of what I was actually doing. So when I woke up that morning and I was like, I can do this. I want to be more present with my family. I don't want to be that person anymore. I just literally woke up with a different mindset and pushed forward, just thinking of, I can be a better person, I can be a better wife, I can be a better parent. And it has literally made me feel so much better when I finally became aware of how ridiculous I actually was when I was drinking and how much I depended on it to get me through every single evening and every single event and every single weekend. How do we become more aware and break the habit of not being unaware? Being more aware of what is actually happening around you. Looking at those pictures of before and afters, before you started drinking as much to now, and comparing oh crap, why do I feel so bad? Well, maybe that's why. Videoing yourself while you're wasting your night away with alcohol and the fights that happen, the drama that start, just how ridiculous you might act. Maybe you're a perfect drunk. I don't know. I definitely was not. And when I became more aware of how ridiculous I was when I was drinking, it was a slap in my face. Ask the people around you. For me, I asked my daughter literally what she thought, and her 7-year-old opinion really hit home. I don't know if you have kids or if you don't have kids, but having kids and they look up to you, do you want them to follow in those same footsteps? Because for me, that was a big awareness. I do not want my children to go down the same road that I went down. We literally are trying to break that habit of, having our kids watch us be super ridiculous. If you video yourself when you're in a social situation and realize maybe I could have been a better example or had more fun if I hadn't drank or didn't drink. Number 2, replace with a positive habit. So for me, my habit every night was going outside while the kids played and I'd be drinking, I'd be on the phone, who knows what I would be doing, I'd be in my own little world. I realized that my positive habit was I started a garden. It exploded. It was so fun for me and the kids to go out there. We started going on more family walks. We went to more parks, let them play. I mean, we just got out, moved just to like take that edge off of wanting to drink, putting myself into a busybody, I guess you could call it, moving my body more, getting like different hobbies. I never in my life thought I would be interested in gardening. That was always my dad. Wherever you are in this world, if you can get outdoors and enjoy, a nice little 30-minute stroll, take your mind off of that urge to have a drink. That habit of drinking when we get home from work it's more of a I deserve this habit. Have you ever asked why you deserve it? Do you deserve to maybe get outside and go for a walk? Also, do you deserve to, be more involved with your children? Or do your children or family deserve you to be more involved? Or is it just the habit of getting home 5 o'clock somewhere, gotta pour that drink, and that's the end of the day? Well, breaking that habit of filling up a wine glass with a mocktail, seltzer waters, flavored seltzer waters were key for us. Pouring anything into a wine glass, for me, I love the fancy glasses, really broke the habit of going out to the fridge and grabbing a beer or grabbing a hard seltzer or pouring myself a cocktail. I literally would start going outside with my kids, watching them play, maybe actually more engaged with them than I ever had been, throwing the ball around with them, playing fetch with the dog more. It helped so much just changing what I would come home to, and instead of pouring alcohol into a glass, it was pouring something that was non-alcoholic into a glass, and it just became a new habit. And I would try to find healthy alternatives. I would do green tea, black tea, I drink coffee, I would drink it hot or cold. If you're not into caffeine, I would, do some club soda with a splash of pineapple juice. Anything to just take that ease of, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, gotta grab a drink. No, breaking that habit might be hard, but replacing it with a positive habit and just continually doing it is going to be your new positive habit, and soon you'll break free from that 5 o'clock mindset. And you'll feel better in the morning. You'll even remember your evenings. You might even be more involved with your family or your friends. Number 3, change your environment. I know this could be a really hard thing for a lot of people, especially getting out of our comfort zone. For me, changing my environment meant taking myself out of situations that would trigger me more. If I knew it was gonna be chaotic, I always had to, 1, drink before or bring alcohol. And so changing places and people and all those triggers, I have backed away and put boundaries around. I started reaching out to other moms more that I knew had kids my kids' age, and we would, do play dates. It, started feeling so good being involved with moms that didn't drink. And I started getting more involved with my neighbor who, she didn't really drink either. Just putting myself with people that were more of an inspiration to me, I guess, and it didn't trigger me to drink as much. Cutting back, I didn't just cut back, I just quit. For me, definitely important was keeping myself out of environments that were going to make me drink. I would say no to concerts. I would say no to, going out to dinner. I would say no to weddings. We used to go on off-road adventures. We stopped doing that when I realized that I was strong enough or, could be in those situations. Now, instead of going to people's houses, we meet somewhere out in the open where it's not going to be so chaotic and where, I have to drink, I need a drink, I need, something to calm me down before I put myself in these situations. I literally feel so much better with the boundaries that I have set. The environments that I have put myself in prior were not healthy for me. They weren't healthy for my kids. I didn't set boundaries. I would put myself and my kids and my family in a situation that made me drink more and more and more, and then I would just leave drunk. Just remember, no situation has ever been better because of alcohol. My biggest thing this year was 4th of July. I always had a party. It was always my house. I always had a party. I literally set that boundary so hard this year and said, I'm not doing it. I don't want to deal with drunk people. I don't want to have to supply everything. I want to wake up and get my day going. I don't want another wasted 4th of July. And so that's, I think, when my mindset started shifting, is when I realized that I was the environment for people to come drink at. And I wanted to change that for me, my family. And it has been the best thing, because none of those situations ever ended positively. If you're going through a breakup, a divorce, death in the family, traumatic experience, anything life-changing, turning to alcohol is not going to solve your problems. That is the number one thing that I have learned, especially in this last year. Traumatic experiences you cannot cover up with alcohol. Deep-rooted depression and trauma from years ago, you're not ever going to overcome those issues by hiding them with alcohol. Number 4, breaking the habit with 75 Hard. 75 Hard literally, I'm going to say, changed my life. It was a huge success. If you are not sure what it is a mental toughness program. 75 Hard is you take a progress picture every single day, no alcohol or cheat meals, healthy diet of your choice, a gallon of water a day, 2 45-minute workouts, 45 minutes each, one has to be outside, and read 10 pages of nonfiction. We did this as a group, and it literally kept me so accountable because I did not want to fail. And I definitely was not going to be one that failed because of alcohol. I was like, gosh, if I fail this, please, let it be a picture, or I didn't drink enough water, anything but failing because of alcohol. I was like, that would be so embarrassing if I failed because I couldn't quit drinking. I literally will emphasize 75 Hard all day and night, all day long, every single day. It literally has changed my life. When I woke up that morning on July 10th, starting that program, hungover, I was like, I am not failing this at all. And in the beginning, my mindset was, oh, I can't wait to have a drink after I finish. And what am I gonna drink? But after week 2 or 3, I literally dropped the desire to drink anymore. During the program, I didn't say I was ever gonna quit. I've never told myself or anybody that I was going to quit drinking. But when I broadcasted to the world that I was doing 75 Hard, it kept me accountable. The whole world was watching me, and I was not going to fail. I never thought in my life that it would help me to quit drinking. Because if you drink, you have to start over. If you miss any of these daily tasks that are mandatory, you have to start over from day one. And I knew that if I would have failed and had to start over, I would have just not even started over. So why let alcohol ruin that? And I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing forward. Number 5, visualize success. For me, success would be being a better parent, being a better wife, being a better business owner. So many things. I look back and I'm like, gosh, maybe I could have been better at real estate if it wasn't for drinking. Or maybe the economy doesn't help that situation either, but then we were all drinking because of the economy. Anyway, so the further I got into not drinking, the better I felt, the more I actually gained confidence. I actually started marketing personal training again. I started getting clients. I started selling meal plans. I don't know what part of alcohol was holding me back from success, but somewhere it took away my confidence when I thought that it was actually giving me confidence. Little did I know quitting drinking would boom my world. It literally has. I've had clients from real estate reaching back out to me, personal training clients reaching out to me. It makes me feel good because I've always been a hard worker, but I didn't realize that alcohol was actually affecting the success of that. I am a better mom. Success comes in all forms. So I've had several people reach out to me and saying like they quit drinking and their business is doing better. Imagine that. Have you ever lost a business because of alcohol? Well, I mean, it happens. But quitting drinking and visualizing how different your life can be without the alcohol, regaining that confidence that you thought you lost or you thought you needed alcohol to get through, it's a tremendous feeling being successful at something when all these years alcohol was holding you back. The people that have reached out to me saying that they've gotten back into photography, they've built their business better, they've switched jobs and are getting paid more. Find something that you love to do. Get back into, I don't know if it's photography, if you love photography, get back into photography. For me, it was training people and, getting back into working out was the habit that I needed to get back into to break free from what alcohol was holding me back from. Just remember, habits are not broken, they are replaced. I did it. I just started putting myself into different environments, being more aware of my surroundings, visualizing what life could be without alcohol, what I was doing to my family and friends, what I was doing to myself. Maybe I should just go move my body. Maybe I should play a game with somebody. Maybe I love basketball. I should go play basketball again. Maybe I miss hiking. Maybe I haven't gone hiking because I just consume myself with alcohol. Maybe buy a bicycle and go on bike rides. I don't know, do something to keep your mind busy. And when people ask me, how did I do it? I literally don't have a direct answer besides I just did it. So maybe that's my direct answer. I shifted my complete mindset. I knew that it was harming me, my family, my kids especially, and I wanted to be better. I got more creative. That is a huge one. I am thankful for being able to put alcohol behind me and move forward. So if you are struggling, please comment below and maybe, the community can help. We can help you. We can push you. I really encourage you to just try.